recording the video, and here we go. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 787. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. You can email me questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. Can leave me a voicemail message on Skype. The name is Mike Tech Show, all one word. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Mike Tech Show, and also facebook.com/Mike Tech Show. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call, robust remote support for IT pros and MSPs. Instant House Call provides unattended and on-demand remote access. You can try it free by clicking on the link on my website at miketechshow.com. Make sure to use the promo code MikeTechShow for your free 15-day trial. You can also go directly to instanthousecall.com. I want to talk about tonight. I got a great show. Dental office projects. 2 projects we're in the middle of. Windows 8.1 end of life. NVIDIA drivers. A strange Google redirect happening when you search Mike Tech Show that I need a little help on. I think I eliminated any of the infections on the website, but now it just goes to a blank page. So it's better than being redirected to a pharmacy. We'll get into that. And then after that, we're going to wrap up with a couple emails. And one of them is some malware and some bad stuff that is targeted for Apple's latest computers. So let's begin with the dental office projects. This Saturday, we have a lot of work. We have a big dental office that their software needs to be updated. I had great session with the software company's tech support. They're wonderful, and this is EagleSoft. And it's been a few years since they've updated, so I'm going from version 18 to version 21. And I have all the documentation. I reviewed it. We are first Friday night. I'm going to remote in. I'm going to make sure that all the systems they are logged out of the software. Then we're going to pause Windows updates because we don't want to be dealing with that on Saturday. Then I'm going to stop the software services and copy the entire database, which is 233 gig. I got to make sure I have a great safety copy of that before Saturday morning. Then I'm going to update the server first. And we have one clinical technician who's going to be on site for us as we then do the first exam room. And once we update that, she will test and give us the blessing that everything's working, that the portable x-ray is working. There's a reader. There's a whole bunch of different things. The second monitor where they can look at x-rays for the patient. So we have a lot of things to test. When that's all good, then we can go forth and do all the rest of the workstations, which is going to take a while. Now, after that, we may double back and make sure all the Windows updates are finished. And we got to make sure Malwarebytes is all up to date. And then anything else, and just kind of clean up. This client finally has agreed to online cloud backup with MagnusBox, so I will be setting them up over the weekend on that. So we got a lot of things to do. That's Dental Office 1. Dental Office 2. We were there last Friday, and I got everything going for PCI compliance. And updated the untangle, put that back in place. Now, they changed their VoIP provider without telling us, and I did not know that. So now we are finding out on Monday that the phones it's like every half hour, every hour, the phone system goes down. The phones are sort of being blocked. And it's the untangle, because I sent my son out, and once we bypassed the untangle, took it offline, all the phones are working great. So I had to meet with, I had a conference call with tech support of the VoIP provider. And also I called Untangle. By the way, a plug for Untangle. And I wish they were a sponsor. They're not. Untangle has the best tech support that I've ever talked to for a question. They answer the phone. They are quick. All I give is my ID. I'm a partner. They are so efficient and so fast and so accurate in any assistance that I have ever needed. And I know I've said that before. I don't call them very much, but when I do, it's always a great experience. So consider that when you're thinking of a firewall. So they help me and log in to the config and take a look. And we came up with the recommendation, which the VoIP provider agrees with. We got to assign static IP addresses to all of the handsets, all the phones. And then I put a bypass rule in for each of the IP addresses. So now what my son has to do next week, he's already scheduled. And by the way, every system is a Mac. They have 14 of them throughout the dental office. All these beautiful iMacs in every room and in the main office. So Malwarebytes is coming up for renewal. So he's going to be out there updating the Malwarebytes. I want to get a final phone count, and then I need to get access to Comcast router so I can make sure there's a block of IP addresses. Yes, I'm not going to do the untangle for DHCP. I have a couple reasons for that. So the DHCP is going to come from the Comcast box, and I will make sure I have the right number reserved. Then July 9th, we're already scheduled to be on site with tech support of the VoIP service. It's very interesting with dental offices. They are closed Friday afternoons during the summer. The office that we're going to this Saturday is closed on Saturdays. So we can't do anything Friday because they're working late. Dental offices, depending on their hours, we've got to take anything down or work. We got to coordinate that. And then I always need someone around to test. And that's tough. They got to get an employee to work when they're closed. And that's always a roadblock, trying to get someone, especially like for this Saturday. Now, luckily, there's a new technician who's been there for a few months and lives very close. So that's going to be a little easier. So she won't have to be there the whole time, could actually go home when we're finishing up, and then come back at the end of the day to do some more tests after, she gives the okay for the one. Now, on this other dental office, the main dentist, the owner, loves technology. He's the one who installed everything himself for all the Macs years ago. And I basically support the networking infrastructure for him because he handles the Macs himself. Now, sometimes they need a little help because they have this lone wolf PC that takes care of the X-rays because they can't use an Apple Mac, to handle receiving the X-rays. It has to be a PC. So very, very interesting. So then we have the Macs that have to share the file to share that directory on the PC with all the Macs. So this way, when they're done with X-rays, they can pick them up and they can file them in the software that is literally for a Mac server that is up in the server room. So interesting support that I wanted to review what we're doing with. what we're dealing with for these 2 projects that are happening. I am still working on trying to get access to 3 domains DNS for multiple email migrations. This is a problem. This is a real problem. So still working on that. Now, had to work with a client that needed their financial advisor, and people may be familiar with the software NetX 360. So they have 2 workstations, the person who works from home. One is Windows 8.1. The other one is Windows 10. There's a long story. The person had two systems. When we upgraded to Windows 10, they hated it. They hated it. And it just a nightmare with issues. This was a while ago. So they refuse to update the one Windows 8.1. Guess what? The latest version of NetX will not install on Windows 8.1. And that made me think, when is end of life? Well, you know what? We still got more than a year. I looked this up. Windows 8.1, it already reached the end of mainstream support on January 9th, way back 2018. But it will reach end of extended support on January 10th, 2023. So what's got a year and a half before that's going to go end of life. So they're lucky. And I do have a list, because as we bring on all of our, all systems that we support, and I bring them into Synchro, our RMM, where we manage all the systems, I can run a report and see what operating systems. And we don't have many Windows 8.1s. We've pretty much got everybody upgraded to Windows 10. So that, just wanted to mention that, because I just ran into that. An article for NVIDIA drivers now officially supports Windows 10 21H1. My whole life, since Windows 10, since the beginning of Windows 10, I have always had a battle with NVIDIA drivers. And that's why I wanted to mention this. It's funny. Carrie never seems to have a problem, but I always ran into problems. There was a time on my one main system that I literally could never update the video drivers, and I had to put a freeze on the driver updates, because every time there was an update, my multi-monitors became one monitor, and I couldn't even install or fix it with a new driver. It was a nightmare. And Carrie and I years ago spent hours and hours on the phone trying to fix that. So sometimes it can get very difficult. Now, with my latest systems and the latest builds for the Beast and the NVIDIA cards I have, I've been very lucky with the latest, greatest drivers. But I wanted to throw out there, because I have not updated my driver in a little bit, and now I'm 21H1 on my systems. As a matter of fact, for the first time last night, I built the media creation tools for 21H1, so we can start, when we're doing a system from scratch or redoing one, we're going to use the media and go right to 21H1. Knock wood, we haven't had any real problems with that. So, at least none that you've heard me report. Yes, still problems with the typical Windows 10 updates, as always. They always present challenges. So this article is from Bleeping Computer, and this was just a couple days ago that they've released the Windows supported driver 471.11, and it now officially supports Windows 10 21H1, and that is, of course, is the May 2021 update. So you can check that out. That will be literally the first link in the show notes tonight. I have a problem, and I need the people who put me onto the problem. 4 people: Arnold, Jerry, Dave, and Michael, thank you so much. Over the last few weeks, the first one was Michael who realized that there was a redirect to a pharmacy page. And I cleaned my WordPress for MikeNation.net. And matter of fact, I ran the cleaner that I talked about a few shows ago. Ran it again. I updated it and ran it again. And it takes a while to run and just totally clean, quarantine any files that are bad, any PHP or HTML files. I think I got it, but here's my issue. If you search on Mike Tech Show in Google, you will get a link to MikeNation.net, but when you click on it, you don't get anything. So you really have to type in the toolbar and go directly to my site. And I think you even got to put the www.MikeNation.net and HTTPS. And it goes. But if you're trying to do it from Google search, it does not. That has stumped me. Any WordPress person, anybody with Google search redirect experience, I have no idea what's happening. Please reach out to me, MikeTechShow@gmail.com. And I believe that I have to call in the heavy hitter web expert, Matt Rodella, I think. And Matt, if you're listening, you're going to be getting a call from me on this one because I'm stumped. All right. Let's see. Email. And this is from, let's start first with Larry. I'm going to put exactly the time frame for the show, Steve Gibson Security Now, show 823. And he troubleshoots a Lenovo laptop with whole disk encryption. So, with that, he says it's a great listen and cue it up at 1 hour and 18 minutes. And I'm going to put the audio link and I'll even put the time for that. And he says it's a great listen. So I think that is tremendous. Larry from Kent, Ohio, thank you very much for that. This is from Bob. Apple's latest computers are being targeted by a new type of malware, and 30,000 machines are already infected. So he sent me 2 links on this, and I will put them in the show notes. One is a business insider, and if you have ad blocker, you have to take it off. And then the other one is Malwarebytes Labs, where it's the mystery of the Silver Sparrow Mac. So 2 articles for you to digest, and you can check that out. Ooh, I'm pausing the audio right now. I covered everything way faster than I thought. So I was prepared for this just in case, and I have another topic to add here for tonight. So I was going to read that, and I was like, I am not going to just read on the show from sites that I can send you the link and you can read on your own. So just not going to do that. But I'll tell you what I can do is get out my phone. Oh, Tim, I got your email. Thank you. What I am going to do is we're going to talk about something right now, which is very cool. So I recently received the AirPods Pro for my Apple iPhone and iPad. They're very different. And I'm going to have a link to a 5-minute tutorial on YouTube on tips that when I first got this, they're nice Nice AirPods, okay? Way better than the last version that I had years ago. Let me tell you the first thing. Here's a tip. When you get them, they're hard to get out unless you know how. You have to move your finger forward and it comes right out. So what you do is go to the back of the lid and then move your finger forward and it pulls right out. With these AirPods, you get 3 sets of a small, medium, and large rubber end for a good fit. There are incredible features that you can use. One, if you pull down the, I would say, the main menu on your phone, where you go for the upper right and you pull down on the iPhone, tap what looks like, you know what? They're not connected. You have to have the earbuds, the AirPods in your ear, and I can't do that now. But when you press the sound, you get a full menu of options. One of them, and I didn't realize this, you have noise canceling or transparency. So if you put noise canceling, it does a tremendous job of blocking out everything around you. Transparency, you can hear people talk, you can hear surroundings, but still hear your music really, really well. So that's just one. There's a feature, and this is very cool, that I have to test. You can lay your phone down and you could put it on a listen mode, walk into another room, and you can hear live any noises or anything's happening on your phone, and you can hear it through your AirPods, and you could be in another room. So that was just a neat little thing. Take a hard look. If you bought these, you spent almost $200 and you want to get your money's worth. I wasn't sure if it was worth it until my oldest son said, let me tell you some of these features. There were, how do you want to answer the phone with Siri, with answering it and being able to just talk to answer the phone. If you want one ear to be able to do noise canceling out of one ear and not the other. If you, the settings, if you go into the accessibility options on the phone for the AirPod, wow, just really, really good. And I really was shocked and of just all these extra features. And it's always a great thing to do. And I've done this with cars where when I lease every 3 years, and when I get a new version, maybe my Highlander, those hidden features that you never knew existed, go to YouTube and check it out. There's someone who took the time to review all of those features. And that is what's so cool that I love YouTube for instructions. So something I was talking about before the show tonight, I have a TV that's a really nice Samsung 53-inch. A few years old, but it's still a smart TV. It's nice, except for one thing. I got those 5 bright lights around the screen. It started out with one, and then it keeps on expanding. Now, that's the TV for my wife's office. This past week, for Amazon Prime Days, I got an incredible deal on a 50-inch Samsung, brand new, ultra high def 4K smart TV for under $400. That was amazing. As a matter of fact, the next day, on Tuesday, it was back up to $500. So Asus routers, there was a tremendous discount. There was a few things we took advantage of for our business that we're going to be reselling to clients. Now, the TV went to my wife's office because the lights were bothering her. And we moved the other one down where It's the lower living room. It doesn't get used much, but when the grandkids are over, they need a TV for themselves. And I even moved my PlayStation 4 I don't use. I haven't even turned it on for a year and a half. So that's another story where when I finally cut the cord of no cable, only internet and only streaming services for every channel, for everything I want, well, there was no need. You get the proper smart TV and everything's now through a Fire Stick on every one of our TVs. So every app on the Fire Stick, and now, by the way, Apple TV is on the Fire Stick. Well, I haven't turned the PlayStation on. And then being in Florida as long as it was, so the whole pandemic and after. But that PlayStation 4 for my grandkids love that. So we moved that out there. But now this TV has those 5 lights now. I Googled that. It's a distiller that you have to take apart the entire TV, and they go through it. I do not have the patience and the skill set to just take that all apart like that. There's several, a few layers, like peeling an onion on this TV. And once you get to where all the lights are, these distillers fell off. And that's what's causing that bright spot. All you have to do is glue them back in, then feel all the other ones. So I need a local TV guy that won't break the bank on being able to fix this. And when I watched it on YouTube, I guess I'm not daring enough to try it. I may have nothing to lose because I was going to have to get another TV, and I don't want to. I mean, if I can spend $100 and get this fixed, it's well worth it, than shelling out $300 or $400 for a TV. So I just want to. I know it's obvious. I know it's easy. I know you really need to take advantage of YouTube and some of the training videos. We always go to YouTube and search how to remove a hard drive from a laptop we've never seen before, just to see, okay, how complicated is it going to be? Do you got to go through the keyboard, or can you at least go through the back? Hate when you have to go through the keyboard and undo everything and literally take the whole computer apart. I leave that for my son, who's getting much, much better. So, Taz, I like that. If I was driving down for that, I would do it. Just bring it to Florida, he'll fix it. So, you got to have patience. I'll tell you, who I might have given it to if Carrie was in my area? He has the patience, of building things like that, taking things apart. So, anyway, I just wanted to share a couple things that were very, very useful on YouTube, and I will link the YouTube video for the iPod tips and the AirPod tips. While I'm talking about that, don't forget to please take the time and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you go to MikeNation.net or Mike Tech Show, you at the very top, I have youtube.com Michael Smith MTS. That's the YouTube channel. Subscribe for me. That would be great. So that's where every video for every show, and I have for everything from 2021, every video except for one that I had to pull down, that I got to go in and edit and take out some things from that video that I was alerted to. And once I cut them out, that was show 781. Then I'll put 781 back. Now the next thing is, if I go a year back for 2020, I must take the time. I can submit each video that I have, and then YouTube will truncate the beginning and the end of even though it's legal music for me, YouTube flags it. So they have to take out the Rob Coslow music because it's just too difficult, even though I have the artist's permission. That's not good enough for YouTube. So that's a problem. And that's the only reason I haven't put up the 2020s. So I will get around to that when I have time. But I have all the videos that I've ever recorded. There were some nights that I forgot to turn on the recording, but I do have them all. Just like I have all of the audio. And that's another place I need to put all that for storage, just to have access for every single show that I've ever recorded. Because look, we're up to show 787 right now, and we're closing in on show 800. So go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate that. And if you're buying anything from Amazon, I hope you used it for Father's Day or just anything coming up. When you want to buy from Amazon, go to my website. Click on the link for supporting the show using our Amazon link. It's the link Carrie Holzman and I share. When you click on it, you're brought right back to Amazon. Your price remains the same, but now anything you add to your cart, when you check out and buy it, we will get a small commission, and that adds up. You're supporting the Mike Tech Show. You're supporting Tech Vets, which there will be one next week. We were all ready for this Wednesday, but it was Carrie's birthday yesterday, and he was too busy. We knew this over the weekend. So, crossing our fingers, next Wednesday, we should be doing another Tech Vets. You're also supporting Carrie's videos. It's the best way. And, of course, that's go to MikeTechShow.com and click on that Amazon link. Fab's Auto Backup 7 Pro, incredible software. You need to have that in your tool bag. Click on the link in the show notes, and you will not regret it. You will love it. And, of course, if you are an IT professional or MSP, Instant House Call, great remote control software. That is it for tonight's show, and I will be back here next week. Same time, same channel, everybody. Bye-bye.